after, going through all these things, now what is this new business model since we are into the pandemic thing? So all these things which I have discussed was an part where the people were initially practicing. So now let me take you into a new dimension, where the startups would not actually fail but would work on a new business dimensions. So this we have already seen, that entrepreneurship and the enterprise. But this doesn't end over here. The entrepreneurship and the enterprise face some kind of uncertain environment. So this uncertain environment is basically defined as a VUCA conditions. So VUCA conditions, the entrepreneur should learn about these VUCA conditions. VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous conditions. So this will impact at every stage. So let's say the firm which is let's say already at the maturity stage will be facing those uncertain events of pandemic COVID-19. So again, so this conditions are very important. Now, how to get over with these conditions? So that is where the concept of technopreneurship innovation. So you can see that dimensions have changed. The definitions of entrepreneurship has evolved to technopreneurship, and definitely when the innovation is doing that, it's not the traditional innovation that which we were and talking about the Schumpeter definition of product, process, or innovation. That there has to be something out of the box. So that is where the concept of technopreneurship innovation or the technological innovation comes into the picture. Who is doing it? All these lean startups. The lean startups are basically the research-based innovations, which are adding, they are doing lots of research. There is no innovation. What, as in Indian context, what we do, we identify some problems, and then we go for some idea generation, and then we look out for incubation center support, look out for funds. We are funded, again we are failing, then rising. But no, don't do that. Go work with a proper research-based analysis. Just like when you are developing, let's say, a medicine, there's a huge level of research which is done. So definitely this same phenomenology or the analogy would apply to the startups. After pandemic, when you have limited resources, limited fund, only those people can get funding unless those innovation are out of the box. So do a lot of your research. So that is where, if you go for this new age business model, there is chance, or there is less chance that you will fail. Since I mentioned about this new terminology, the VUCA, so let's look at what is this VUCA. So you can see that entrepreneur is faced with volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity environment. So this was basically a first, developed as a strategy as in US Army War in 1987, and was mentioned by Bennett and Lemony in 2014. So VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, and complexity and ambiguity. Now, how this particular concept is applicable to the entrepreneurs? Since we are talking about the entrepreneurs and how we can add value to the entrepreneurs, so all the associated risk comes under the volatile environment, all the technical issues, the business related issues, turbulence in business environment, the uncertain events, just like pandemic COVID-19. Now, sustainability and survival issues. We are above, or the startups are above the break-even point. They face, and again, they face, kind of a complex business sustainability. So these are the sustainable environment. Challenges to be innovative. Again, innovate or die. So such kind of challenges is faced by most of the co-founders at stages above the success or the growth stage or the maturity stage. So if they don't innovate, so such kind of environment is ambiguous environment. So how we or how an entrepreneur would evolve to such kind of VUCA conditions. So just to make everybody understand, let's look at the symbiotic relationship. So I've taken this as just to explain. Egyptian flower bird and the crocodiles have a unique symbiotic relationship. Crocodile can't use the dental floss. They can get food stuck in their teeth. All that food rots their teeth and probably cause some pain. When crocodile feels the need for a good tooth cleaning, it will sit with its mouth wide open. Egyptian flower bird sees it as an invitation, and if one is nearby, it will fly into the mouth of the crocodile. It will eat the food and will fill its stomach and then fly back. So this way, both the crocodile and the flower bird gets benefited. So now how this concept is related to the startups. So technopreneurship innovation business model, when we talk about, it's something to do with technologies. Since technology, I've been talking about technologies and innovations, so these two things make technological innovation. But this is not the end of it. You would have to look out for, let's say, a third to complete the triangle, which is small businesses, lean startups, MSMEs or SMEs. So these are basically your nearest lobbies which require. So this is where the startups, when they're innovating, first look out for business association with some kind of the MSME lobby, which is micro, small, medium enterprises, or the SMEs, whether they require innovation. So focus on that. Technological innovation wave. It started with the first wave as in American Online, which gave the concept of internet in 1985. Second wave came in where the Google in 1998. They created a landmark. Facebook in 2004. They started social media platform for information broadcasting and sharing. Third wave was basically the wave of technologies related to e-commerce, n-commerce and supply chain management. It started with Flipkart in 2007, Ola in 2010, Oyo 2013, Swiggy in 2014. Now, this current stage of technology, we are into deep tech wave, where the startup businesses are built through technological breakthrough into components like data science, artificial intelligence, robotics, and we can see the examples of Haptic app or Nikki app, which is currently into, they have changed the dimensions of innovation as a conversational artificial intelligence or a conversational commerce. And now when we enter into post-pandemic COVID-19, technopreneurship innovation or a TIN business model for a symbiotic relationship is a much more essential seed or should be taken care as a strategic business model for startups. Now, just to conclude, all these definitions are redefined. Entrepreneurship is a process, especially for the advent of artificial intelligence, such innovation, technological innovation towards inclusive growth, sustainable growth, commercial business, institutional growth, rise since it's a pandemic, so rise of a new entrepreneurs which can harness technology to solve greater business problem, to deliver solution. New age of entrepreneurship should not be an entrepreneurs, but should be technopreneurs. And this new age should come with a constant development. It should employ engagements of corporates, academic expert towards a growth. So again, the new age of entrepreneurial would work on, the business idea to solve problem, create opportunity seeking, finding the best product and marketing. It should be game changers, disruptive innovation, work on a disruptive innovation, whether there is innovation required. The business processes should be more about the information of product development, sales and services, customer clients, market size, team of execution. Team of execution, when I basically train the entrepreneurs, so I focus more on the team. As in India, we failed to the win the World Cup. When Dhoni in fact focused more on a team development. So as an Indian, so team syndication is our strength. We should work on team. We should work on collaborations. And new age technological innovation, as my other about artificial intelligence, data science, graphical processing, and machine learnings. So these are some new innovation. So again, let's just to conclude the entire thing, let's look how this startup life cycle would basically look like. So you can see that every stage, all these red lines, you can see these are the stages of VUCA, where most of the startups eventually fail. And when we go above the break-even point, that is, the stage 3B, which is commitment, stage 4, validation, scalability, and shake-up stage. That is where most of the startup, they face turbulence time. Stage 5 is maturity. They reach the maturity, but still they don't know what to do. And then they eventually decline. But still they are declining, and then still they don't know what to do. So you can see that every stage I have mentioned TIN. So TIN is basically Technopreneurship Innovation. It's a short form. So every stage, startups need to innovate with the technologies, and these technologies should not be the old technologies, but should be coming from the new age industry 4.0 automation. And if we enter into, let's say, industry 5.0, definitely it should be more advanced technologies. So do something to work with artificial intelligence, data science, robotics, and so many other things. So just to conclude, so this is basically the conclusion of all my slides. The new age technologies is the new combination, technopreneurs, new business innovation. And, again, if you're innovating, take the advice of academic expert, the industry expert, the mentors. So work on the sustainable pattern of the growth. And since the small business startups is the combination of entrepreneurs, founders, entrepreneurship process, and the enterprise must mitigate VUCA conditions through technopreneurship innovation. So VUCA conditions is basically which leads to failure. Technopreneurship innovation would work as an enabler. So since few questions were asked from my last co-panel, Mr. Nereji, which are technology where the people should enter. So this is, I've narrowed down. So these are some, this is a kind of a research where I've mentioned the plus sign says these are the technologies which has a future for another 10 to 15 years. So all these startups entering into such particular domain, irrespective of the industry, whether it is education or whether it is healthcare or whether it is, let's say, agriculture. So definitely these things should be taken. The core of the thing should be artificial intelligence, big data, data science, machine learning, IoT, edutech, virtual reality and artificial reality, health tech, biotechnology, cybersecurity, conversational artificial intelligence. And these technologies, I'm not saying that they are not much heavily invested, but still they are not as much advanced as compared to the plus sign. So they are also very important, but they are less important. So clean tech environment, agri-tech, rural development, social media mobility, which is called SMAC, computing, food and processing, electronics and semiconductors, transportation and automatic technologies, or any area related to social or national importance as defined periodically. So currently, so with this, I end my presentation. So currently, like social and national importance is more towards health tech, edutech, the biotechnology, the new age innovation related to something to do with to fight the pandemic, which is like robotics and drones. So for the deliveries, so these are the national importance to where the government has changing the policy. So thank you.